If I'm being honest, privacy is kind of exhausting. I'm not saying this in a dramatic way, I'm just saying it's annoying. Like for example, managing passwords, app or website settings, camera and mic or location permissions. Pop-ups are constantly asking if you're okay with being tracked by who even knows. And we're always left wondering who can see what, or what got recorded. And it's a lot of effort just to be left alone. And most people don't have time for that. People work or study. They spend their time scrolling and messaging people on their phone, buying stuff, going places. They're just living their lives, and every one of those things that they do in their day-to-day life leaves some sort of data behind. And keeping track of it all feels like a full-time job. So when someone says, or when something says, don't worry, we'll handle it for you, I mean, that can sound comforting to some.
Hey, you want to go for a walk on the rocks?
The crotches, I can't.
Come on, it's beautiful out there. Come on, we'll help you. I go out there to think.
That's where AI surveillance comes in. These systems don't ask you for anything, they just sit there in the background. No interruptions, no forms to fill out, just quiet efficiency. Specifically, we can talk about a platform like Palantir AIP, which is an American-based company. Normally, data is stored separately in places like police databases, financial records, travel logs, social media sites, and our own phone's metadata. Stuff like that doesn't really talk to each other. Systems like this will make them talk. Palantir AIP pulls together all these segmented fragments of your life, like where you go, who you talk to, who they talk to, what you buy, what you post, basically how often certain patterns repeat in your daily life. And they turn all of that into something that's easy to read and understand. Not because you or I did anything wrong, just because it's useful to have everything in one place. And to be fair, that can be used to help keep people safe. That's the pitch they always throw out anyway. Bad people do bad things and we all recognize it. Patterns can absolutely help identify them. I think we can all agree. That all sounds reasonable. The thing is, once this type of system exists, it doesn't just look for bad people, it looks for signals. And signals don't need intent. There's also tools like Pegasus.
With just a single text, it can bypass your phone's security and install spyware that grants complete access to your device.
It can access every message you've ever sent. It can access every message you've ever received. It can access every photo, every video, every email. It can turn on your microphone. It can turn on the microphone even when you're not using a phone call and just record what you're doing in the room. It can turn on your camera. It can record what's on your screen. It can access your GPS. It can monitor your location.
They don't just analyze data, they collect it directly. Encrypted messages, call logs, location data, microphone access, camera access. Basically, if your phone knows it, Pegasus can know it too. The justification is always the same for every one of these systems. There are serious threats and they require serious tools to deal with them properly. And sometimes that's probably true. But practically speaking, it means your phone isn't really private. It's more like a sensor you carry around with you all day. And since your entire life and mine runs through our phones, your relationships, your opinions, your worries, your 2 a.m. searches, that sensor ends up saying a lot about you.
I want to take a minute and talk to you about something serious that I've been working on behind the scenes. I'm building something called Gideon, or in Hebrew we call it Gidon. And this is the first real-time AI-powered threat detection system for law enforcement and schools. It's a system that scans the open web, social media, Reddit, Discord, gaming chats, and flags real behavioral signals before someone picks up a rifle and walks into a school.
Moving on, I mean, military AI is another aspect to this, and it's very similar, just on a different scale. Instead of a person making a call based on limited information, there are systems that can process satellite images, drone footage, intercepted communications, and it can do all of this in unison at the same time in a moment's notice, way faster than any person or group of people can even do it. And they don't say this is the target, they say there's an 82% likelihood, for example. They give confidence scores, risk assessments. So a human is still deciding technically, but they're deciding with an algorithm hovering over their shoulder. And over time, when a system proves itself to be faster, more comprehensive, and backed statistically, it's easy to start trusting it implicitly. Facial recognition brings that logic into everyday life. We've had this for years. Modern systems don't just recognize your face like the old iPhones did in the first generation of Face ID. They recognize how you walk, how you stand, how you dress, where you usually go, who you're near. I mean, they don't really need you to introduce yourself anymore because the system already knows who you are and where you're probably gonna go.
Pets are family, but every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now. Join the neighborhood at ring.com.
Which leads to predictive policing. This is an aspect that I think most people are afraid of and less likely to trust if they try to institute it, but this is the end goal.
Okay, Jad, what's coming?
Double homicide, 1 male, 1 female. Killer's male, white, 40s.
Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route.
I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
This is where systems don't have to wait for crimes to happen. They try to guess them ahead of time. They look at things like past arrest, reported incidents, locations, social networks, everything we talked about before, and they say, statistically, something is more likely to happen here or with this person specifically. It's not guaranteed, it's just likely. And likelihood drives action. More patrols, more monitoring, more attention. For most people, the effects won't be dramatic. There's not gonna be a knock on the door or any accusation. It's smaller than that. Extra screening at the airport, a delay in a background check, a loan that doesn't get approved with no clear explanation, a job application that never gets a response. Nothing you can really point to specifically, just friction. And because it's automated, there's no one to argue with. This all sounds similar to China's social credit score system, and that's because that's what it is. And the really insidious part is that the system didn't do anything wrong. The person running it just followed the output. The policy allowed it. Nobody actually decided anything. That's what makes AI feel kinda normal. If a computer flags you, it feels official, almost like it's objective or neutral. But computers don't understand context, and they are not created by neutral entities. They don't understand sarcasm or jokes. They don't understand cultural differences or why people push back systems in the first place. They just know when someone doesn't fit a pattern. And once you're outside of this pattern, everything you do starts to look suspicious.
Bingo! I got action.
Not necessarily dangerous, just worth looking into. Mass surveillance doesn't need to lock everybody up, that's not what I'm saying. It just needs people to hesitate, to pause before they speak, to rethink what they post, to avoid certain topics when they speak, and to stop asking questions entirely. Because once people start censoring themselves, you get compliance for free, there's no need for force. And when something goes wrong, when there's a problem with the system and let's say somebody gets flagged for no real reason, there's no villain. The algorithm did it. The operator trusted it. The policy written into law allowed it. So there's no accountability, just process. That's why this technology is always framed as inevitable. It's already happening, everyone else is doing it or gonna do it, and we can't afford not to. As if these systems just appear out of nowhere. But they don't. People made them. People funded them. People decided what data matters and whose mistakes are acceptable. Sometimes quietly, sometimes right in front of us. But in the end, they exist. And the longer they exist, the harder they are to question. Because once surveillance feels normal, I mean, privacy starts to look suspicious. Trying to opt out of this system starts to look like you're hiding something. The real question isn't whether AI can watch us. We can all agree that it can and does. The question is what happens when being watched becomes the default, when the next generation doesn't question what's being put into place because that's what they know. When every action feeds a system that doesn't forget, doesn't forgive, and doesn't really care why you did something, only that you did. And if you're fine with that, don't worry because they already know.
Thought crime does not entail death. Thought crime is death. I have committed, even before setting pen to paper, the essential crime that contains all others in itself.
Many hours of my free time encouraging my agents to deface power.
And just to be clear, I'm not trying to turn this video into some doomsday prediction or anything like that. It's just something that's been on my mind with all these AI ads and commercials from the Super Bowl even. So I thought it was worth talking about. I genuinely do want to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. I'll be making another one probably soon, so thanks for watching.